I'll be there for you, calling me when you're lonely, dancing on the roof. It feels like rendezvous. You know what to do. Keep your love for me only. I get high on you, yeah you. Hey baby, kiss me hard.
Hello everybody, it is the 6th of April and it is almost 4 o'clock. I'm really tired today. I'm not tired of writing, but I did get a couple hours done this morning and I wrote 828 words and finished a scene. So it was a pretty short scene, but it felt good to finish it. I still have like 2 scenes, 1 scene, maybe 1 scene to write now. I mean, I'll be able to finish tomorrow, so really I'm on track for like my personal goals for the revisions that I'm doing. That feels really good to know that. I don't really have the rest of the month planned. The way I'm kind of planning it, like it took me a week, counting tomorrow, to do almost a day in my book. Technically I won't even be done with that. So next week I'll still be working on some of that stuff. That'll probably take me a couple days, and then the rest of the week I'll be working on all the stuff that's probably going to take me a while to figure out, like the combining scenes, taking stuff out and adding new scenes. So if I could get all that done next week, like that would be good, because that would be a lot of leeway that I've been building up toward, and I just, you know, never quite got there all last year that I was trying to work on this stuff. So honestly, I just feel like I've made more progress this week, even though I know this is really one of the few times that I've been trying to be consistent about sitting down to write, but this is the most progress I've made on my book in a long time, and it feels good. Still a little overwhelming, but it feels good because I just need to finish this draft, and I guess because I've been working on it so long now that I just almost can't even imagine having this draft finished so that I'll be able to move on to fix more issues in it. I'm already thinking ahead, even though like I'm not there yet. I need to just wait until I can actually finish my revisions. So I'm gonna hold off on making plans. Alright, I don't feel very good today, but that's kind of what happens after. I don't know. It happens to me. I am just about finished with the wiki building for my werewolf pack characters. I'm going to finish that up today because I think I only have like a couple pages to do for that. I think I'm gonna work on that and just call it a day. So I don't know, I'll work for another couple hours because it seems to take me a while to do those 2 pages. So call it a day after that, and then tomorrow my plan is to get that like last scene that I have finished. I already know it's one of those scenes that I kind of stop in the middle to take a break. I'll probably just work on that all day tomorrow. That way I can meet my goal and take some time to figure out what I'm gonna work on next week. That'll be good. So today I've written 828 words, and that firmly puts me, you know, over 200,000 for sure now. So far this week I've written 6,506 words. So that's actually like a really good week for me. So I'm good with that. All right, so I'm gonna do some wiki work, and I will check back in with you guys probably tomorrow.
Kill my vibe, all my feelings on fire. It's all time. Hey baby, kiss me hard. Don't kill my vibe, all my feelings on fire. It's all time. Don't you know I'm dying. Don't you know I'm dying. It's all time. Don't you know I'm dying. Don't you know I'm dying. It's all time. I'll be there for you, calling me when you're lonely, dancing on the roof.
Hello everybody. It is Sunday, April 7th. It's been a full week of camp. I mean, it's 10 in the morning, so the day's not over yet, but it's really just starting. But I'm feeling better than yesterday. I did manage to finish my wiki stuff that I was doing, all the werewolves pages. It's as much as I can do right now. I still have a lot of filling in to do, but like the prep work is there. It's done mostly. So I'm glad for that. And today I can just focus on the last scene that I want to write for this week. This is like the first time I've ever been on track for like plans that are in my head, you know, of I can write this many scenes this week. This is the first time it's actually worked out for me. And I think about the times when I've been working on like my world building stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, during those hours I could have been doing more actual like drafting, but I think it's helped me to have some of those breaks of just working on different elements that still makes me feel productive, because it just does. Like it's not book writing, but it does help me figure stuff out, especially for the one that I'm currently revising. Like a lot of it didn't have like a lot of missing pieces, but there were elements that I didn't quite know how to connect to the larger plot, and I just thought, you know, I'll keep writing, I'll figure it out. And I mean, now I have figured it out, and sometimes figuring out one element leads me to more questions, which is fine. Like that's kind of what should happen in this exploration. And a lot of it is stuff that I hadn't figured out about the larger world that I'm writing in until like this past year. So it wasn't really anything I could figure out until just now. So it's like I struggled with these revisions for a long time before I realized I needed to work on stuff outside of it in order to figure it out. Like I didn't have the actual puzzle pieces to connect, and now I do. So I think that's why the revisions have suddenly become a lot easier. The timeline stuff is still like wonky, and I'm trying to, you know, cut down a 3-month to a 2-month to a 1-month time period. So that requires a lot of honestly guesswork right now, because I have a lot of scenes in my outline that I did for the revision that I'm guessing have to go in book 2 now, because there's just no real place for them. It's stuff that I wanted to be in the first book, but I mean now like the plot's not lending it to go that far. And I mean book 2 takes place right after book 1, so it's like not inconceivable that it could happen in book 2. It's just, I feel weird because I feel like that's just, some of those scenes lend more to being left unresolved in the first book, because you know, I just, yes, I'm still thinking about that, but it's something that I have to worry about in a later date. Like all I can do is fix the revisions that's in my head right now, and then the next draft I can fix some of the other elements I've noticed as I've been going. And then like I know I'm gonna need some drafts for the descriptive writing and really like the voice of the characters, kind of narrowing that stuff down. So I know I'll have at least a few more drafts to do, let alone one that's perhaps just trying to chop down the word count. Like So I know I have a long way to go with this book, but the fact that I can see the end of this revision is just, it's exciting. Still have a lot to do. It's kind of exciting to think about that I'm heading down towards those roads of more work, different work than what I'm doing right now. I'm also excited to maybe take a break from this at some point to go back to drafting like other stories and stuff. I don't know if I mentioned it, that in March I planned 2 more stories in this world. One of the days I was in the ER with my mom, I had like 9 hours to kill. So I of course brought work to do. I had these characters in mind for an element of this world that I have just started to develop. It's not that different from other elements I've developed already, so it's easier. It's just that when I was thinking about it, I was like, why am I developing this? Like I know it needs to be developed, but like what stories come out of this area of my world? So I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I had these characters in mind, so let me see where this goes. I did like a real short outline, like it took up all of a page, and it was just kind of like a sentence or two for major plot points. If I was trying to follow a beat sheet, it kind of followed a beat sheet. So that's as close as I'm getting to beat sheets right now, is like major plot points written out on a sheet of paper. And it kind of didn't have a good ending. Like it was kind of tragic, and that's not really what I wanted to write. So I kept going with the story and I looked at where it could go from there. So I ended up outlining a sequel to that story. And it also kind of didn't have that great of an end. I was like, I don't know why these characters have to be so damn tragic, but I added like a little epilogue so that maybe it had an option. Like I was like, or maybe this could happen and not be so tragic for these poor characters. Like a lot happens and they do overlap with some other characters and storylines that I originally didn't know how they were crossing over. I just knew that they had to happen. The fact that those characters now tie into a major storyline was interesting to me. I don't know how much further they'll go. Like there is the potential that they continue to cross over as the story shifts. I have so many moving pieces in this world, major characters and events and storylines, that I think that's kind of what I've been struggling with, is just figuring out, do these things all overlap? Are all these events and antagonists popping up at the same time? Or is there like a cascading effect of one happening and then that fueling the next antagonist? Like that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to figure out with this world, because, and I'm also trying to figure out what stories need to be told from the history of this world, because there's a lot of important things and some of them I know lend themselves to being written because they are important today. They're a storyline that is still happening. So it's one of those where if I chose to write those character stories, I would be spanning like 20 years over the course of probably one book, because I'm not spending that much time writing those 20 years. So it would probably be one book, but those characters then 20 years later are important in the plot. And I was like, do I write their story? Like, do I write their history? The way I write these books doesn't really lend itself to having flashbacks. Even my current draft that I'm revising, there are bits and pieces of some characters' past when the main character Kane was 13, a few years before this book opens up. I want to tell that story, but I think that lends itself to being a short story or novella that I can do separately. The rest of these things, like, I don't know. So that's what I'm struggling with. But anyway, I'm gonna go write and see what I can get done for today. Hopefully I can finish the scene. I'm gonna write for a couple hours right now, take a break, and then probably come back right away because I feel like I'm in the group to write. So I'm gonna get as much done right now as I can. Okay, bye.
It feels like rendezvous. You know what to do. Keep your love for me only. I get high on you, yeah, you. Hey baby, kiss me hard, don't kill my vibe. All my feelings on fire. It's all time.
Okie dokie, I'm done for the day. I'm happy with the scene I just wrote. It was it was rough, but I did in the end end up just keep going with the scene, keeping on going with the scene, I kept on going with the scene. There you go, past tense. Woo! I'm writing this book in present tense, so all bets are off as to what ends up happening when I talk. Okay, so I took a short break in between, but I just spent 4 hours writing and it felt good. I wrote 1,748 words. So that's still like way less than my average, but I'm happy with that. You know, I finished the scenes that I wanted to write. I mean, this one was one of those replacement scenes that I hadn't originally intended to write. It is so hard to open this with my thumb. I'm not wearing my brace, but it's because I keep forgetting it. I take it off to wash my hands and then I forget to put it back on. So this is my reward for the week because I've actually done good. I'm proud of myself. I don't really snack, so I'm eating it because I made it my reward. So I ended up writing 8,254 words this week, which that's pretty good. That's all new words. That's not even rewriting scenes, which normally I'm half rewriting scenes. This was just all new material, and sometimes that's easier than like rewriting the scenes. I don't know, I feel good. I feel good about that. My book is now 202,000 words. I still think that's not the longest then, but it's getting back up there again. I think I was at like 204, 206 or something like that before, but I have no idea what this is going to be like at the end of camp. No idea. Anyway, yeah, I had a really good first week. I did I should actually tell you the hours, huh? Because I'm tracking hours for camp, not my words. I just like to keep track of my words. Oh, so I did 30 hours this week. That's actually pretty solid. That's like way above like where I should be right now if I were just doing 3 hours a day. So I'm actually really happy with that, considering I know this month is gonna get busier. So I am glad. 30 hours, 8,000 words, plus the world building, obviously. Like I haven't counted any of that stuff aside from spending hours worked on that. But I'm good. I'm good with that. That's a good first week. And I really want to shout out to all of my cabin mates because we've all been really talking and griping and supporting each other this week. So of course, again, all their links are going to be listed down below if I have them. So please go check them out and follow them if you don't already, because they're all really cool people. So all right, this was a good first week, and I have plans for next week, but I will show them at the start of the next vlog, I suppose. That way I have actually more time to figure out what I'm doing for next week. But all right, thank you all so much for watching, especially if you've watched this far, because I know this vlog is probably hella long. So thank you. I love you guys. Like this video if you liked it. Comment, let me know if you guys are doing camp, how your first week went. Whatever else is going on with your lives, let me know, because we all got stuff going on outside of camp. So let me know how you guys are doing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.